Hello friends, welcome to this session. As you know, we are continuing our discussions about business organizations and types of business organizations. In today's sessions, we'll be discussing basically two types of business organizations. We'll start with the first one, which is known as one-person company. This is, as we know, things evolve and things innovate. So, one-person company, which is referred to as OPC for short, is a relatively new type of company in Indian context. It has been there abroad, but in India, it's a relatively new type of business organizations. And this concept of one-person company was introduced in 2013 as part of the Companies Act 2013. As the very name suggests, this type of business entity can be owned and managed by a single person. However, the condition is, in India, only Indian residents are eligible to incorporate an OPC and foreigners are not permitted to do so. So, if I may quickly give a reference of what we have discussed in the earlier thing, this is a kind of modern and more evolved and more refined version of the old popular business organization known as sole proprietary that we have discussed earlier. Introduced in 2013, one person, new evolution now in India. Now, one person company is a company that can be owned and operated by a single person, as we said. It is considered suitable for individuals who want to start a business with the benefits of a company, but without the need for multiple directors. Again, the mindset to have control on whatever I am doing, or because I am entrepreneur, I am startup, this is my baby and I want to do it my way. That control aspect play a major role from the cognitive ability or cognitive thinking, where people prefer to go to OPC rather than private limited or public limited company. Then, the key benefit of an OPC is that it provides a unique opportunity for individual entrepreneurs to start their own business without having to involve other shareholders or partners who at times could actually hamper or prove to be the hindrance in the operations of a company or organization if it is a partnership. And we have seen a lot of issues in partnership particularly. As a result, this organization, that is OPC, enables entrepreneurs to have complete control over the decision making process and offers a simplified and streamlined process of running the business with corporate and legal recognition and legal setup or legal entity kind of thing. Again, I repeat, this is a corporatized version of sole proprietorship. Benefits of control, benefits of ownership, benefits of management, and therefore a lot of entrepreneurs who have, if I may use that power motivation to control everything, have preferred to go for OPC, which is a 2013, that is relatively, hardly 10-12 years concept from the business type of organization. Now, an OPC enjoys the benefits of a private limited company, such as limited liability protection, separate legal entity status and perpetual succession. So, again, as I said, corporatized version of sole proprietorship. The liability of the owner under OPC is limited to the extent of their investment in the company, which means that the personal assets of the owner are protected from any financial obligations or debts incurred by the company. So, basically, freedom from control, freedom for management, basically freedom and authority to implement your own ideas the way you want it done, accompanied by limited liability plus a corporate form of structure is what is making OPC as one of the popular type of business organizations, particularly among the the startups and entrepreneurs, which is now very much reality in the context of Indian economic development and economic growth. Of course, as we know, along with advantages come disadvantages. So let us quickly note the disadvantages of OPC. And one of the main limitations or disadvantage of an OPC is that it can only have one director, which can limit the scope of the business, because there's a limit to what one single person can do or what one person can singly handle or manage. Additionally, as an OPC is a relatively new concept in India, it may not enjoy the same level of credibility and trust as more established business entities such as private limited companies, because all said and done, ultimately people also realize that, as we have discussed, that it is nothing but a new form, corporatized form of proprietorship, and the same problems or disadvantages that sole proprietorship has or suffers from are also evident in case of OPC. So finally, like any other company, an OPC is required to comply with various legal and regulatory requirements, which may be time consuming and costly for small business. Particularly, it is only one effectively owner come director come entrepreneur, whatever you call it, is looking after it. So these are some of the major disadvantages of OPC. Now, as I said, another thing that is emerging thanks to Companies Act 2013 is, along with the OPC, there is another new form of company or corporate entity known as Section 8 company. Now, a Section 8 company is defined by the Companies Act 2013, and it is basically a company registered with the primary goal of promoting charitable or non-profit activities. It's essentially a non-profit organization with the structure of a company, and these companies aim to use their profits and income to further their stated objectives rather than distributing them among members. So, if I may say here, just as we said that OPC is a corporatized modern post 2013 version of sole proprietorship, in a way Section 8 company allows NGOs to shed their own skin or own format and adopt a relatively corporatized modern format along with the benefits that they enjoy as an NGO. Because these Section 8 companies are basically focused upon, or they aim at charitable goals or charity purposes kind of thing. Now, what are the typical key features? Let us note them. Key features or characteristics of Section 8 company are: first, non-profit focus. The main objective is to promote charitable, social welfare or other non-profit purposes, same like NGO. Then application of profit, that's another feature. Any profits or income generated must be used to further the company's stated objectives, and it is not distributed to members. So, it's not like dividend distribution, right? So, it's basically you are set up for charitable purposes, you will be spending your profits to those purposes only. So, what follows is, there are no dividends. Members cannot receive dividends or other financial benefits from the company, basically because you are set up for charitable purpose and not for individual benefits. I repeat, key features are non-profit focus, application of profits for the stated purpose or goal, and of course, there is no question of profits being distributed or shared by way of dividends. Then another two major things are central government approval is a must. Registration as a Section 8 company requires approval from the central government because there are a lot of taxation issues involved. Then there are compliance with rules. Section 8 companies must adhere to the government specific rules and regulations. So, just as you got rules for trust and society for NGOs earlier, because government has allowed corporate entities to be set up for charitable purposes only, government has also laid down certain rules, and the compliance with these rules is mandatory and a must kind of thing. Now, typical examples are, the Section 8 companies are set up for promoting arts, then promoting science, scientific activities. They are also used for education purpose. In fact, a lot of corporates, as you know, are now entering the field of education, academics for that matter, and education is another example. There are also Section 8 companies which are actively engaged in promoting sports. Then of course you have research, you have got social welfare, even you can undertake religious activities for promoting betterment of humanity kind of thing. Then you've got charity. Environment protection is another area where Section 8 companies are active. Typically what also happens, these Section 8 companies are also set up to establish and manage educational institutions. So as we said earlier, education is one of the area. Subsection is not only higher education, not only what you call PG or professional education. They can also go and set up, establish, manage education institute, just as it is being handled by societies and trust. Plus these Section 8 companies can actually provide financial assistance to lower income group as part of what you call, if I may use that term, alleviation of poverty or social upliftment. And these basically typically NGO goals, NGO objectives being executed by a corporate entity, which is permissible under Section 8 thanks to the revised provisions of Companies Act 2013. So these are the new emerging types of organizations in the Indian context. With this, we'll complete our discussions about discussing the basic salient features of business types. Thank you so much. Till we meet next time. Bye.